What's up, guys? How's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? Welcome to another episode of Rest Stop Recap, where I go back and let you guys know how I did on the PBA 50 tour. This past week, we were at the Villages for the PBA 50 Players Championship. That was held in Spanish lanes and at the Villages. As you can tell by my demeanor, I did pretty well this week. I did cash this week. Unfortunately, I missed the top 24 cut by 6 pins, but more on that in a little bit. Before we really get into this recap, I just wanted to show you a couple of videos that I took. I'm still trying to figure out the way things go out there, of what I can video and what I can't while I'm out there. Video clip of how the Pro-Am went for the bowlers. I didn't participate in it, but they had a full house, and here's what it looked like. Hey, what's up? Just trying to give you guys what it looks like in the paddock here. PBA 50 Villages open. And we're going to look out, walk the lanes real quick and show you guys what the Pro-Am looks like. This place is packed. They have 288 bowlers along 2 squads of the Pro-Am. That's pretty awesome. All right, they did a pretty good. They did a really good job on the Pro-Ams. They had, let's see, 280 bowlers, like 140 per squad, 32 lanes, 16 pairs, 9 pairs. Pretty good for a Pro-Am, especially for the PBA 50 Tour. All right, so how did it go? Well, we had practice. Instead of like for Fort Myers, we had 3 hours of practice. This time for this major tournament, we only had an hour of practice, and they oiled in the beginning of practice. So A squad practiced for an hour, then B squad practiced for an hour, and then C squad came in to practice after that, and it was on the same oil that they laid out. They didn't re-oil in between, so we only had practice for like an hour. Boy, did that hour go fast. I was so used to the 3 hours the week before that I was really kind of fishing, trying to figure out how the lanes are going to play, kind of get an idea of what a plan I would go into, since I was on B squad for qualifying the next day. One of the other bowlers out there suggested to me to play out by the gutter and basically try to find the hook spot down lane, about 2-3 down lane. And for the last 15 minutes of practice, that's what I did with a couple balls, and I kind of had an idea that I knew if that was out there going into qualifying, I could get the ball down lane to that spot, and I could at least, I knew I was able to get to the pocket. What 2 balls really work well during practice? Or actually, I should say 2 balls. Which balls work well during practice? Yeah, none of them. The best shot that I had was I took my phase 4 and hit it with 1,000 by hand, and it, down lane, it was actually getting to the pocket. It was slowing down just right. But other than that, any of the balls I tried, a lot of my stuff was either going too long and rolling too forward, and I played inside, I played outside. If I did play in right around 14, 15 at the arrows, if I got a little left of that, it hit 16, it hooked early. And if I got a little too far right down lane, and never recovered. So I really didn't have a really good ball reaction in practice, so I was a little worried about how I was going to go into this. But for the most part, that was my game plan. When I came in for B squad, I was going to play to the right and just see, try to get that hook spot and figure it out. First day of qualifying, I went in, I brought in 9 bowling balls. Wasn't sure what was going to work, so practice started up. Actually, I should say I came in and watched a little bit, see where people were playing. I have no idea if there was any urethane going down the lane or anything like that. I didn't get there that early, and so we were just gonna go with my game plan, try to see if that hook spot was still there down the lane, around 2-3 down lane, and see what ball matched up the best, and just to get to the pocket and try to manage the first day, try to get comfortable. Well, after our 15 minutes of practice, the best ball reaction I had was with my dart code. That seems to be like a go-to ball I have in the bag right now. I've used it on several different patterns, especially, forgot to tell you guys, we were bowling on Marshall Holman 38 feet. That pretty much had the best ball reaction for my 15 minutes of practice with that ball. And like I said, that there was a little bit of a hook spot down lane where I can feel comfortable, and that's what I did. So the first 6 games, I grinded it like no man's business. I was just trying to make the best shots I could, trying to hit the pocket, making my spares. And after the 6 games, I finished at minus 24 Wasn't bad, but I figured if I could, the next day we were bowling on the fresh, so I'd come in with the same type of game plan, maybe find different balls that would work, and maybe I could do, have a better reaction, maybe I could score a little bit better. And that was good. That was day one. All right, so day two, second 6 games of qualifying, I came in with the same mindset. I was now on the fresh, nobody really throwing any other balls down the lane. I'm just gonna play to the right and see how that works for me. And I brought in other balls, different setup balls this time. My Darko was in there, my spare ball. I brought in the Reality, the Gem, and the Phase 4, of course, because that works. So you never know how it's going to be after the 6 games, how they're going to transition since we're on to fresh. So then we had our 15 minutes of practice, and glad I brought in that Reality. The way I have the Reality drill is the pin in the ring finger with the mask kicked out towards my bow line, and that ball just got down lane easy, came off the spot down lane, and just made it to the pocket. And it was a reaction that I really was comfortable with. And then we just, after the 15 minutes practice was up, that was how I was going to attack the lanes, and that's what I did. And other than the last game where I was on the Bowl TV pair, we were right in front where they were broadcasting, where I switched over and I used the Gem as we were going along throughout the day. In the fill ball, I was, Kelly Kulik, our ball rep pretty much recommended that I just try different stuff in the fill ball in case the lanes were transitioning or a little different, see if I had a different reaction. For the most part, in the first game right out the block, what did I shoot? I shot 260, then I shot 230, then I shot 260, had the front 8 with that Reality. Then I was just plugging along, and it was great to be able to score that high. I shot like 770 the first 3 out of the gate. I was on a high. I was just trying to keep it going, and then each game I would try a fill ball, and that each fill ball that the Gem looked better and better. So after the end of game 5, I threw the Gem in the fill ball, and it rolled pretty good. I had a little more earlier roll than with the Reality. We drilled it basically for shorter patterns. So the way this 38-foot pattern was playing on the fresh, after some more, after that 3rd day of re-oil, they were hooking a little earlier. So and then that last game I went with, that was on that TV pair, I went with the Gem, which I shouldn't have. I should have switched out of it, but again, I'm a rookie out here trying to learn, see how it works, and I was having a big day, so I just took a chance, and I ended up shooting 171 the 6th game, which for the day ended up at 194, 197 over, which is really good. Averaged 232, and moved myself up the cut into the cut line for the top 63. After my thought after that, I was going to watch see how B squad roll, went and got some lunch, and then watch C squad as well, the N squad, to see maybe if it was going to be I have to move in or just kind of play out. So that was the end of day 2 of qualifying. Really good day, really on a high. I was excited, so I just had to maybe come in with the same plan for the 3rd day. We bowled A squad for day 2 of qualifying. Well, it was B squad, but we bowled on the fresh early in the morning, and then the next day we had to bowl at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So guys, just want to let you know that when you come out here and bowl, if you bowl any of the big majors, you bowl any of these tournaments, the National Tour, the Senior National Tour, there is a lot of downtime, a lot. So like I said, we bowl in the morning and had to bowl until 5 o'clock in the afternoon the next day for our final 6 games. So what was my plan? I was gonna use the same ball and play them the same, and hopefully I had the similar reaction, or I had something where I could just maybe tweak my hand position or just kind of fight through it just to manage, because that was where I was comfortable. After those 6 games on Tuesday, I was really comfortable playing out there. I kind of played there for 2 days in a row. That was my game plan. That's what I was going to do. Play out, start with the Reality. The Reality didn't work. Hopefully maybe the Phase 4. I brought in a couple other balls, but fortunately when we got into C squad, I had a similar reaction as like kind of the first day, but they were slightly a little bit earlier, but the Reality still worked well. I didn't have to change the surface on or anything. It was manageable. The 3rd day we started on 5 and 6, and the way the house was playing on the lower ends, because it was a lot warmer there, the lanes were they started hooking a little earlier, and as we went down the house, down the lane 32, the air conditioner worked a little bit better, and the lanes were a little bit tighter. So I just figured I'm just going to use this reality, and I'm going to just play it and see how I do. And that's basically how they played. But before we get into more reaction on my next day, here's some of the shots from that third day.
Oh, see?
I want to thank my mom for coming and watching me and rooting me on and doing some filming for me so I could put that in my vlog. All right, so after the third day, I went +8. I went +40 the third day, so that put me in the cut. So with bonus bowling, and I knew I had cash, which is awesome. I was sitting 28th, and the top 24. No, I was sitting 31st, and the top 24 make it to the match play. So, and of course, for the fourth day, that first advances round, it was on the fresh again, so I was really excited. I bowled really well on the fresh. The reality rolled great, and I knew if I got on the fresh again, I was going to attack them the same way again as I did on Tuesday. So then we came in, and we started for our 15 minutes of practice, and the reality was rolling great. I was confident, I had a good ball reaction, and then all of a sudden, we had a breakdown. Lane 28 just decided not to set up pins, so we had to stop. They told us to be about 10 minutes, and 10 minutes turned into 20, turned into 30, turned into 40, so we had a 40-minute break. So after they fixed the lanes and that 40-minute break, then we got a whole 15 minutes of practice again. When I was bringing the bowling balls in for this advances round, I watched some urethane go down the lane some of the other days, and I thought maybe as they re-oiled, the pattern was going to play kind of not shorter but more truer, so the lane balls were going to hook earlier. And I wanted to put urethane in the bag, but I was like, no, I really didn't need it. So I didn't bring it in. And the two of the four guys that bowl on my pair, they brought out the urethane. Oh joy! After our 15 minutes of practice, left lane was fine, but the right lane just got tighter. Down lane, really tight. Like the ball wouldn't. So, I was just like, all right, I tried the gem, I tried the dark code, just couldn't figure out that right lane, get a comfortable reaction. So I just stuck with the reality and just tried to make the best shots I could. It was just a struggle that game. I shot 178 out of the gate. I was not happy at all. I was a little frustrated, but I figured, no matter what, I got 4 more games. I'm gonna see how it goes. And once we get off this pair, hopefully they're gonna be like they were on Tuesday, where my ball is gonna hook down lane. Just try to do the best I can and get in the cut. We moved to the next few pairs, and once I got away from the urethane, I went 240, 230, 220 with a game 4 out of the 5. I had a solid 8 in the 10th frame to shoot 220. That shot was awesome. It was pure. Then we moved into the next pair for game 5, and the left lane was just tighter, and I made really good shots. And when I looked up, I saw I was in the cut, and I'm like, all right, if I just can have a good game here. And next thing I look up on the screens around me, everybody's got a 5 and 6 bagger, so I was putting more pressure on myself, throw better shots, and I did. I executed my shots that 5th game, but the left lane, I struck on the right lane. I just couldn't get strike on the left lane. 9 count after 9. See, I had 5. I had 5 shots in left lane. I had 2, 4, 10 because it was a little tighter. Then I struck, and then I 2-pin, 10-pin, then I 10-pinned again, and I got up in the 10th. I knew I needed a double at least. And I struck, and then I flat 10. So then I shot 196, and that was it. I knew I was out of the cut. I just had a feeling. And sure enough, I finished 25th, and I'm missing the top 24 by 6 pins. So I was a little frustrated, not frustrated as in mad like the first week, but I was frustrated. I really wanted to make the cut, really wanted to make match play. But if I analyze it from one week to the next, where there was a score fest, and now this was, this format fit my game better, then I'm just happy. I'm ecstatic. I knew I have to go had to go back home, drill some more bowling balls, get some different drill layouts because all my stuff was going too long, which I did. Now I'm here at, finishing up this vlog. I'm in Georgia. I'm heading to Aberdeen, North Carolina. We start practice on Sunday for 3 hours of practice. I'm gonna test out the new balls that I drilled up, and we're gonna see. This week in Aberdeen, we're bowling on the Billy Hardwick 44 foot. We bowled on that at Lehigh at the regional right before the Fort Myers stop. So I have 6 games under, practice and 6 games under my belt on that pattern. So I have an idea where I'm gonna play on that pattern. We'll just have to see how these guys break them down a little bit different than at the regional level. Guys, I just want to take time to, thank you, appreciate you guys for following. YouTube channel's growing. I got more followers, more subscribers, I should say. Thanks for tuning in to actually I shouldn't say tune in. Thanks for keeping up with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Trying to do the best I can. I'm posting. I'm all by myself. So, but then, guys, thanks again. I really appreciate the comments on YouTube and all the comments that I'm getting on all my social media. So I'm gonna pack this thing up, get on the road, and post this pretty soon. All right, see you guys next time. My rest stop recap. Thank you.